Yo, I want to make this video real quick. Before you decide to freelance, I want you to understand something. It is extremely difficult. I've been freelancing since 2016. When I jumped to freelancing, I was working a job, then I didn't have a job anymore, right? And so instead of going back to work, I wanted to use the skills that I had or that I got in the studio because I love music, right? I was working in IT, but I love music so much. I spent 16 years trying to make it work for me as an independent artist. And so when I lost my job back in 2015, I wasn't really pressed. I knew I needed to get money and income, but I wasn't really pressed to go back to IT. I never wanted to be there to begin with. It was kind of a thing. It doesn't matter how I got there. The thing was, I was doing something that it was just making money to pay bills. And I was putting all my time, attention, and money into trying to make the music thing work. And for whatever reason, I couldn't make it work. So I was stuck in IT for 16 years. Fast forward, I lose my IT job. And when I do, I start scrambling. I start looking for different places to find an income, but not work a quote unquote job. I wanted to build this business. So what I did, I was teaching kickboxing. I sold what I had, and I was engineering at a studio for small amount of money or whatever like that. And then come 2016, I started to sell on Fiverr. And it took a month to get the first sale. And it was a DJ drop. But from there, I wanted to make this work so bad. And the fact that somebody would pay for a DJ drop kind of turned everything on its head for me because, normally in the past, you would just do DJ drops for free for DJs after you make the music, so hopefully they play your record. The fact of getting paid for that DJ drop and the fact that I was like, I do not want to go back to work, I was determined to make it work. So like I said, I sold everything. I was teaching kickboxing, engineering, and I was just putting all my little monies together that I could to pay bills. We have 3 kids, I'm married with 3 kids. So it was like, it's what I can say to anybody that's younger. If you have no responsibilities, take those risks. That's a good time to take the risk because it becomes a little nerve-wracking when you're taking those risks when you're older. But I have a supportive partner. She's beautiful because when she saw that it was working and how excited I was, she told me to keep going. She believed in me just like I believed in myself as far as I'll figure it out. And so I kept it going. It wasn't easy. I would stay up all night on Fiverr, obsessing, reading everything about it, trying to get work and stuff like that, and just obsessing. And it was like a slow build, week to week, month to month. And then, I hit that first year mark and I didn't make enough to make a full-time living, but it was like I ended the last month of the year making about $1,400 that for the month, right? And that was off my own efforts. That was doing DJ drops and jingles and stuff like that. And it was just bugged out to me because I was using the skills that, and how I was measuring it was like, all right, could I, from month to month, it would be like $4 January, $16 February, $64 March, $256 April. You know what I'm saying? And it was going like that. And how I was measuring it as I was moving my freelancing business along, I was like, let's see if I could pay the cable bill with this. Let's see if I could pay the electric bill with this. And I was just going like that. And my goodness, it was so hard. It was so hard and it was so much work. I was selling my services at that time for $5. So people were getting a lot out of me, but it didn't matter to me because what I was getting was a chance to get paid for my skills. And then people would also leave reviews. So it was building my business. And granted, it wasn't me putting a record together and sending out the record and making money like that from the shows, but it was still within the confines of music, except I had to listen to customers, right? Buyers, they are paying, so they have an opinion. It's not about what I wanted to do. From that year, I got into the second year, and the first year altogether, it was like around $16,000 for the year. for the year. And then, piece that together. Like I said, I was teaching kickboxing and different stuff like that. You piece that together. It was all right. It wasn't nothing great, but it was something, right? And then the following year, I kept going and it doubled and new opportunities came up. More jingles I was doing. Then that's how I slowly got into voiceover, because like from DJ drops, you're recording on the microphone. You know what I'm saying? And remember, I said that DJ drops came from you make a record and then, you're cutting DJ drops for the DJs so that they'll, hopefully play your record. So I had experience on the mic. So when people would ask me things like, oh, can you, do a skit, or could you read this? Could you read this script? Originally those first orders were like people doing Kickstarters and projects, different projects and stuff like that, like a college project that they needed a voice for and stuff like that. So it was very, I don't want to say low level, but it was very, not low effort. What is the word I'm looking for? It was just like a lower bar to entry. A lot wasn't expected out of me. And I mean, hence, like I guess, with a college student looking to do a voiceover for their project, the $5 mark is a good thing. And it wasn't $5 for the whole project. It'd be like $5 for like, I think at the time, maybe 150, maybe 250 words or something like that. It's nowhere near like that now for me, but that's how I started. And when I say it was hard because those first 10 orders, those 10 reviews were the hardest, because people wouldn't take a chance on you, or they'll take a chance, they'll get their order, they wouldn't leave a review. So, and you can't really like, oh, can you review my thing or whatever like that. And so those first 10 were the hardest, and you're just staying up and you're trying to figure it out. And then you get your 10 reviews, and then there's like some momentum building, and then you stick around, and then you hit 100 reviews, and the momentum builds. But it's just like it never, it's like people want something so fast, and they play lotto and hope and then they just keep losing and losing and losing. And it's like that same effort and time and energy and money could be into your own business, developing your skills and your equipment and your training. And at least, even if it goes slow, there is some kind of progress. You know what I'm saying? And I was willing to, like, slow growth better than no growth. You know what I'm saying? I was willing to do that to build the business. And so from 2016 all the way up till now, that's exactly what I was able to do. And, like, I consider those the beginning times, not really low times. They were the low times, because it's like, I was scared as hell, because it's like, here I am, I lost a job. I'm trying to do something that, not a lot of people are doing. It was tough, dude. And then, as like from year to year, you do build momentum, but every time it's scary because you still can't believe it. Remember, for me, it happened for me older, and I already had responsibilities. So every order was like my name's on the line. I'm trying, no matter how many reviews I got, like I'm living by my product. I'm living by what I say I can do. And, it's just, with the lows and the highs, it's scary the whole time, but it's just like stepping on stage. You just go and you do it. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. And even when like you're making lots of bread and you're high in demand, it's still a lot of work, because people want your attention. People want you to work on that project, and you might have several things happen at one time, and life is still happening. So even at the lows, life is happening. Bills got to get paid. You have your ups and downs, emergency situations, people pass, weddings, birthdays, babies, all kind of different things. Life is lifing. And so you're doing all this hard work, and it's crazy, because it's like, you go to work, you do a 40-hour week, you get paid for overtime. If you do overtime, 50 some, not everybody, but whatever the case may be. And then people think that when you're freelancing or you're independent artist and you're working on your own, that it's like this. You do have you have your time, but what you're doing is you're working more than 40 hours a week, maybe 80. Maybe 120, I don't know. You're working as much as needed so you don't have to go to work, if that makes sense. But the thing is, it's like, if you pick the right thing, it never feels like work, but you're always working on yourself, your skills, your business, working to find work, working on work. It's work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot. It's a lot, you know, and you got to be careful because on the lows, you're thinking so much and you're trying to figure it out. And then the highs, you're working so much, you can get burnt out on either thing. So then you're still trying to find a balance on top of everything. And it's tough. And I can say right now, 8 years later, it's still tough. And it's crazy coming out of the pandemic. The pandemic was a scary time, and I did very well during the pandemic. And then coming out of the pandemic, everything seemed to go, for me anyways. For other people, it went up. For me, it has went down year over year. And so it's like, again, it's like 8 years of freelancing, and it's like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? And it's, again, you're working constantly, working, finding new skills, building on old skills, building the business. And then and now there's more at stake in a sense, because now it's like you've been out of corporate for, you know, a certain amount of time. And it's like, damn, what do I do? And then, but the beauty with freelancing is like, you bet on yourself, you bet on your skills. So then, like for me, it's been low for the last 2 years. So then it's like, okay, you have to use more of your skills, you know, apply for more work, try more stuff, offer more stuff. You know what I'm saying? Use your freelancing skills to do jobs or work for people, but also build up some other businesses and stuff like that. Because the one thing that I can say, the one mistake that I did is that once I found something in freelancing that worked, I kind of stuck with it for a long time. And I don't know if that's a great thing or not. I don't think it's a great thing, because by sticking with that one thing for such a long time, it's like working a job, same time, your other skills get a little bit dull. You're not putting them out there that you can do these things. And, you know, and when you're not putting them out there, you can do these things, nobody knows, and you can't get paid for them. And it's like, you need that. Like, you know, I've been not a voice actor, in demand as a voice actor, not in demand. And it's like, yo, that sucks, because then like you're going up and then you have bread and then your bread is lower, but your expenses is the same. So it's like, oh, damn, you got to figure it out. But it's cool, because what it did, it's like when I first started freelancing, like I said, I wanted out so bad, I was trying anything. So I used my skills as an independent artist to build a business. And then as the business grew, voice acting and voiceover was the need. So I slid into that thing. But then I was like chilling out on doing music. I was making music for other people, for jingles, for other artists and stuff like that. And it's like I neglected, you know, all that other thing just to do for other people. But like I said, you know, when things get low, you can, you know, you could just sit there and hope for things to happen, or you got to make things happen. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's apply for a job, sell what you got, open a new business, sell blood, whatever you got to do, you got to do what you got to do. You got to bring some bread in. And, you know, and it's hard, dude. It's hard. It's just as hard from year 1 as it is from year 8. I can tell you that from experience. The point is are you going to do it or not? That's really the point. Because a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. And then they are waiting for everything to align. It never aligns the right way. It's a choice. You're like, yo, this is how I'm going to make a living. This is my lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And then it is what it is, man. There is no like, oh, when the stars align and the moon is at the right peak, and then that's when, nah. What you can do is, you know, develop your skills to the highest level possible for where you're at that time, and manage your money appropriately. Because the thing is that, you know how you get that bi-weekly paycheck or that weekly paycheck? Well, this thing goes up and it goes down. It goes up, down. And you got to figure out a budget so you can maintain. And the more responsibilities you are, the more you have to have to the side so you can maintain. It's no different than losing a job, right? You're losing a job, you have a steady income, blah, 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 then boom, you don't have it. And then you have to make adjustments. You dust off your resume. So it's like the same effort is involved in that. You could dust off your resume, send a whole bunch of applications and wait, or while you're waiting, you could build something. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, when I first lost the job back in 2015, I was like, I'm not going to dust off the resume. I'm going to take my resume, take these skills that I got and start applying them to build a business. Because before I was laid off, I was already trying to build a business. And it just so happened that, I got laid off. So I was like, I'm going to scrap that business and I'm going to go for what I want, go for what I know. I've been trying to do music this whole time. So, and it worked out. And it worked out. And like I said, even though it's slower now, like the other opportunities that I opened up outside of freelancing, as you may or may not know, is like, I use my record making skills now, right? And now I have independent distribution. I have a publishing admin. I'm using that. I found a way to become an Amazon influencer. So I'm doing that, building that business. We're building the YouTube business. We haven't monetized yet, but I mean, we have so many subscribers and we have traction, momentum. And look at, even like I said, going slow, it's like I'm applying for work too. I'm applying because I got to keep the income going in. But I'm this time, I am not dropping anything. I'm not doing one thing. I'm I'm doing all things. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working harder than ever. So I want to let you know that it's like, what you'll notice is that harder and smarter. Okay? Because hard is not like back-breaking work. I think when I say hard, it's mentally, it's challenging, trying to figure out how to market, promote, and advertise your work, how to, where, especially in a time like this where people are not spending as much because, they might be spending money in other ways. And it's figuring out how to get your product and service. I'm saying product and service because I'm doing both now. I was just using music as a service, but I'm pushing my product and service, but how to get it in front of people to let them know, you got the best stuff. And, saying whether it's putting out music that they enjoy, that they can use on their social media, or it's providing the service for voiceover or making music or engineering and or doing social media stuff. It's all work. But I think like freelancing, you have more of an opportunity to, what am I trying to say? Use all the skills you ever had in your whole life versus I'm working a job, they're paying me to do this, and this is all I do. So, but it's all work. You choose what you want to do.